Most people quit, not because they're broken, but because they're comfortable. They stop at tired, they stop at bored. But here's the truth. Success doesn't care how you feel. It only responds to one thing, whether you show up. When your mind screams stop, that's when you force yourself to keep going. That's when the transformation begins. In few moments, you will learn exactly how to push past resistance, silence your excuses, and train your mind to become unstoppable. If you're tired of starting over, it's time to learn how to finish. Learn. The decision to keep going. You are standing at a crossroads in your life. Before you stretch two roads, one leading back to comfort, safety, and everything you've ever known. The other, it leads into the unknown. Towards dreams not yet realized, goals not yet achieved, and a version of you not yet born. I know it's tempting to retreat. The path behind you is paved with familiarity. It's lined with people who will tell you to stay where it's safe. Don't take risks, they'll say. Be realistic. Play it safe. But growth does not live there. It lives on the road ahead. The road filled with challenges, lessons, and sometimes even pain. But it is also the path of potential, of progress, of greatness. Every person you've ever admired stood exactly where you are now. They were not fearless. They were not certain. They were simply willing to risk failure, willing to walk alone, willing to push forward despite the fear. Abraham Lincoln was not a straight line to greatness. It was marked by countless defeats in business, in elections, in life. He lost jobs. He lost loved ones. He lost elections. Time and again he was told no. But he refused to let those defeats define him. He kept moving. And that single choice to continue shaped the future of a nation. Lincoln is not alone. Behind every successful person is a trail of hardship. The authors whose books were rejected dozens of times. The entrepreneurs who went bankrupt before they built empires. The athletes who trained in silence long before anyone knew their name. What sets them apart is not luck or genius. It is decision. The decision to keep going. You must make that same decision now. You must decide that no matter how hard it gets, you will not quit. That no matter how much your mind screams for you to turn back, you'll keep putting one foot in front of the other. Because the path ahead, though steep and uncertain, holds the life you desire. You do not grow by avoiding the fire. You grow by walking through it. You become strong by leaning into discomfort, by embracing rejection, by rising again every time you're knocked down. Pain is not your enemy. It is your trainer. It breaks down what is weak and builds up what is powerful within you. This is your moment. This is where your transformation begins. Not in comfort, but in challenge. Not in safety, but in struggle. Decide now. Decide that you're done playing small. Decide that you're worthy of more. That your dreams are not foolish. That your goals are not too big. That you are not too broken. The world does not need more people hiding. It needs more people rising. And you right now have the chance to rise, to move forward despite the fear. To leave behind the life that no longer serves you and step into one that demands more but gives infinitely more in return. So take the step, even if your knees shake, even if your voice trembles, even if you're the only one who believes in you right now. Take the step, because this right here, right now is where everything changes. To define your purpose clearly, to keep going, you must know exactly why you're moving forward. Not vaguely, not someday, not maybe, but clearly, deeply, and without hesitation. Your purpose is the fuel that powers your journey. It's what drives you when everything else feels heavy. When the world says stop, purpose whispers go. Without it, even small challenges feel like mountains. But when your purpose burns bright, you can walk through fire and come out stronger. Purpose turns pain into progress. It gives meaning to the sacrifice. It transforms struggle into growth. Without a strong why, the journey will crush you. With it, the same journey will forge you. Martin Luther King Jr. did not march through cities, deliver speeches, and face hatred because it was easy. He did it because he knew what he stood for. He knew where he was going. His dream of equality wasn't a wish. It was a mission. Every word he spoke, every step he took, was guided by an unshakable clarity of purpose. That clarity moved millions. It lit a fire in the hearts of others, because purpose is contagious. When someone walks with conviction, people notice. They listen, they follow. You have that same power within you, but first you must define it. Ask yourself, what am I passionate about? What problem burns in my heart to solve? What legacy do I want to leave behind? What impact do I want to make in this world? Let the answers be raw, let them be real. Don't settle for vague goals or borrowed dreams. Get honest, get specific, and once you've found the answer, write it down. Not once, not just in your mind, Put it on paper, on your wall, in your journal, anywhere you'll see it often. Read it when you're tired. Repeat it when you're afraid. Return to it when doubt creeps in. Purpose is not a one-time spark. It is a daily fire you must keep lit. When the road gets hard, purpose will keep you moving. When you're tempted to give up, purpose will remind you why you started. It will become your compass when you feel lost, your anchor when storms hit, your armor when the world pushes back. This isn't about motivation. Motivation fades, purpose endures. Motivation is loud but short-lived. Purpose is quiet but eternal. Define it. Feed it. Guard it. Your purpose is not just a statement. It's your North Star. It's the reason your story matters. The reason you were given this life. It's not found in comfort. It's discovered in the moments you question everything, yet choose to keep going. There is greatness inside you, but it will not reveal itself until your purpose becomes clear. Only then will your steps gain meaning. Only then will your actions align with destiny. The world doesn't need more people who are just existing. It needs people who are on fire with purpose. People who know why they wake up, why they fight, why they refuse to quit. So ask the questions, search your soul, find your truth, and once you do, never let it go. Let your purpose pull you forward, step by step, day by day, until the life you've imagined becomes the life you live. Set concrete goals and milestones. Goals give your dreams structure. Without them, even the boldest vision fades into the background of daily distractions. A dream without direction is like a ship without a compass, adrift, lost, and eventually forgotten. But when you define clear, actionable goals, you give your dream a spine, a framework, a path. You begin to turn possibility into inevitability. Goals are not just wishes written down. They are promises to yourself. They are declarations that you will not leave your future to chance, that you will not sit back and hope. You will move. You will build. You will rise. History has shown us what becomes possible when vision is paired with precision. The moon landing was not achieved in one leap. It began with a vision, but it was brought to life through specific measurable steps. Each calculation, each test, each mission, a goal. And one by one, those goals formed the bridge from Earth to Moon. That same power lives in you. Start today, not tomorrow, not when things are perfect. Now, write your goals, not in your head, on paper, on your wall, in your journal. Make them real. Make them visible. Don't settle for vague intentions or abstract wishes. Get clear about what you want, when you want it, and why it matters. Your goals should challenge you, push you forward, and remain deeply connected to your purpose. With clarity and direction, you begin to see the path. You begin to act with intention. Break your larger vision into milestones, clear checkpoints that keep you grounded and focused. With every milestone you reach, you build trust in yourself. You begin to understand that progress is not a myth. It is happening, step by step, decision by decision. Each small victory matters. Celebrate it. Let it remind you that you are not stuck. You are moving. You are becoming. This is how transformation happens. Not by leaps, by steps, not by chaos, by structure. When your goals are clear, your actions follow. You stop wandering. You start building. You stop reacting. You start leaping. There will be days when the dream feels distant, when the weight of the work feels too heavy. That is when your goals save you. They pull you back. They remind you why you began. They give you something solid to stand on. This is not about being perfect. It is about being committed. It is about showing up, day after day, step after step, until your life begins to reflect your vision. Dream big, always, but anchor that dream in daily action. Start small, be relentless, refuse to quit, because when goals guide your journey, your dream is no longer a hope. It becomes your destination, and every goal you set, every milestone you reach, every step you take, brings that dream to life. So start now. Choose one goal, one action, one step, and begin the journey that turns your vision into reality. 4. Stay committed, despite criticism. There comes a moment in every pursuit, in every daring dream, where the voices of the world begin to rise. Some may whisper in caution, others shout in disbelief. The tone may vary, but the essence remains the same, doubt. And often this doubt does not arise from malice, but from fear. Fear of the unknown, of the untested, of the unconventional. Yet it is this very path, this uncertain road that leads to greatness. The truth is, criticism and doubt from others can derail even the strongest ambitions, but only if you allow it. Galileo Galilei, the father of modern science, dared to defy the dogmas of his time. He looked through a telescope and saw a universe that refused to orbit the Earth. His revelations threatened the very foundation of accepted knowledge. For this he was condemned, silenced and cast aside by those too fearful to confront the truth. And yet his vision endured. Centuries later, his name shines while his critics have faded into the shadows of history. Albert Einstein, too, faced fierce resistance. His ideas bent the very fabric of physics and shattered the limits of conventional understanding. His theories were ridiculed before they were revered, but he did not flinch. He trusted the clarity of his thought more than the noise of his critic. And today the world bows not to those who mocked him, but to the brilliance that transformed science forever. From these lives we learn a simple but powerful lesson. The judgment of others is often a reflection of their limitations, not your potential. When people doubt your path, it is usually because they cannot see what you see. Their vision is bound by the walls of their experience, while yours reaches beyond. If you surrender your dreams to their doubt, you trade infinite possibility for finite fear. You must therefore develop the discipline to separate constructive criticism from destructive noise. One sharpens your sword, the other seeks to dull your spirit. Welcome the first. Let it refine your craft, strengthen your resolve, and show you the blind spots you've yet to see. But as for the second, ignore it. Dismiss it like dust in the wind, for it seeks not your growth but your surrender. Commitment in the face of criticism is one of the highest forms of courage. It is easy to stand tall when the crowd applauds you, but to keep walking when they laugh, to keep building when they mock, to keep believing when they doubt, that is the mark of the resolute. That is the signature of the visionary. Let their doubt be the backdrop to your determination. Let their disbelief fuel your fire. In time, your results will silence their resistance. Your progress will answer their questions. Your success will be the echo of your resilience. Understand this: no great change ever came without resistance. No revolutionary idea ever walked through the world unchallenged. But the world changes not because people accept something new, but because someone dares to persist, despite rejection. You must be that someone. So stand firm in your vision. Carry it not like a fragile hope, but like a sacred torch. Shield it from the winds of doubt, and feed it with the breath of belief. For one day those who doubted you will no longer remember why, but the world will remember you, the one who stayed true, the one who did not yield, the one who transformed resistance into reverence. That is your power, and it is greater than any critic's voice could ever be. Continuously adapt and grow in your pursuit of success. You may have imagined the journey as a straight road, clear, predictable, and easy to follow. But life rarely operates that way. It twists, it turns, and it throws obstacles into your path when you least expect them. And in those moments, life does not reward the rigid or the unyielding. It rewards you only if you are adaptable. Adaptability is not a luxury you can afford to ignore. It is essential. It is what allows you to thrive when others falter. When markets shift, when plans fall apart, when relationships evolve, you must evolve too. What worked yesterday may be obsolete tomorrow. So ask yourself, will you adjust or will you be left behind? Dwight D. Eisenhower, the 34th President of the United States. He wasn't just a wartime general, he was a visionary political leader who understood the value of strategic flexibility. As president, Mr. Eisenhower faced a rapidly changing world. The Cold War, nuclear tensions, racial unrest, and shifting economic tides. Instead of relying solely on military might or partisan ideology, he took a balanced, pragmatic approach to leadership. Mr. Eisenhower spearheaded the development of the interstate highway system, not merely as an infrastructure project, but as a vital national defense measure. He expanded Social Security and maintained New Deal reforms while keeping the federal budget in check, a delicate dance between progress and stability. And when faced with the rise of McCarthyism, he navigated carefully, choosing to preserve democratic values without fueling further division. Eisenhower's brilliance lay not in rigidity, but in his ability to adapt policy to the moment, to the needs of a changing America. You must learn to move like that, to bend without breaking, to stay in motion when the world tries to pin you down. Be willing to unlearn and relearn. Continuously seek knowledge. Expand your skill set. Don't cling to a method that no longer serves you. If a plan fails, don't see it as a dead end. See it as a signal to change course. Your principles are your anchor, yes, but your strategy must be flexible. There is no wisdom in charging into a wall when you could walk around it. Real strength is knowing when to pivot, when to adapt, and when to strike from a new angle. Too many people mistake stubbornness for resilience. They wear their refusal to change like a badge of honor. But you know better. You know that adaptability is not weakness. It is intelligence. It says, I will not be tied to the old way. I am committed to the outcome, not the outdated method. So stay focused, but stay flexible. The winds of life will shift. New challenges will arise. Let your sails adjust. Let your mindset evolve. Because life will not pause to give you time. It will continue to move. And your only choice is whether you will move with it or be swept aside. Do not fear the changes. Embrace them. Step into the unknown with confidence. Know that your ability to adapt is your power. It is what will separate you from the rest. In a world that constantly transforms, it is not the strongest who thrive. It is those like you who are willing to change. If you can master this skill, you will not just survive, you will shape the future. You will not be broken by life's challenges. You will become the force that turns them into opportunity. 6. Develop unshakable self-belief. Self-belief is the bedrock of success. Without it, every step forward feels uncertain. Every challenge feels heavier than it truly is. Without it, doubt creeps in, paralyzing progress and turning potential into regret. But with self-belief, you become unshakable. You move with intention. You speak with conviction. You act without hesitation. Challenges don't disappear, but they no longer break you. Instead, they build you. Muhammad Ali once declared, I am the greatest. To many, it sounded like arrogance, but to those who understood, it was clarity. It was power. It was a man who knew, long before the world did, that greatness lives first in the mind. He wasn't born the greatest. He became the greatest. Because he believed he was, that belief became his armor in the ring and his anchor outside of it. Through every setback, every fight, every storm, his self-belief never wavered. You must build the same. Not a shallow confidence, not a temporary high, but a deep, unwavering belief in who you are and what you're capable of becoming. This belief begins with your words. Your mind listens. It absorbs everything you say about yourself. If you speak fear, it will grow. If you speak strength, it will rise. So speak power daily, relentlessly. Tell yourself, I am capable, I am worthy, I am becoming stronger every day. Not because you're pretending, but because you're becoming. Repetition carves truth. And the more you affirm your worth, the more your mind starts to believe it. But don't stop there. Prove it to yourself. Look at your past. Look at the storms you've already survived. The times you felt broken, yet kept going. The moments you didn't think you'd make it, yet here you are. Every victory, no matter how small, is proof. Proof that you have what it takes. Proof that you're stronger than you think. Gather those moments. Remember them. Let them become the foundation of your confidence. Then carry that belief into your actions. Stand tall, shoulders back, eyes forward. Speak as if every word carries weight. Act as if success is already yours. Because when you move like you believe, the world begins to respond. Doors open. Opportunities appear. Not because of luck, but because self-belief shifts reality. You're not waiting for validation. You're not asking for permission. You are claiming what is already within you. Every legend you admire started here. Not with applause, not with talent alone, but with belief, quiet, consistent, and unshakable. This is not ego. This is not delusion. This is truth, spoken before it becomes visible. You will be doubted. You will stumble, but your belief must remain. Not because you're perfect, but because you're persistent. So train your mind. Feed it strength. Starve it of doubt. Surround yourself with words, people, and actions that reinforce who you are becoming. Speak your victories into existence. And when fear rises, face it with the fire of belief. The world cannot stop someone who refuses to quit. Someone who believes so deeply in their purpose, their potential, and their power that nothing can shake them. Be that person. Build that belief. And watch the world move to meet you. Harness the power of resilience. Life has a peculiar way of testing every ounce of strength within us. It does not ask for our permission before it sends storms our way. It simply does. And when it does, it is not the easiest path that defines our destiny, but the inner power we summon in the darkest of hours. This power, my friend, is resilience. It is the invisible force that pulls a man up when the world believes he will stay down. It is the quiet determination in the heart that whispers, try again, when failure screams, quit. History is generous in its examples, but one that stands as a towering testament is that of Thomas Edison. Imagine thousands upon thousands of attempts, all of them seemingly leading nowhere. The world would have scoffed. The critics would have laughed. Even close friends might have offered sympathetic advice to give it all up. And yet, Mr. Edison stood unmoved. He did not view each failed attempt as a defeat, but as a lesson. "I haven't failed," he once said. "I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." These were not mere words. They were the battle cries of a man who understood that every setback was simply a step forward in disguise. What Mr. Edison practiced was not blind persistence. It was a philosophy of resilience. He did not curse the darkness. He sought the light. He didn't resent the struggle. He welcomed it as the crucible in which greatness is forged. That is the lesson life offers us through such men, to see obstacles not as barriers but as necessary thresholds. Challenges are not punishment. They are preparation. Each trial, each disappointment, each moment of despair is sculpting us, chiseling away the excess to reveal the warrior within. And so when you find yourself weary, when your dreams appear distant, and the weight of the world presses upon your chest, pause, but do not retreat. Instead, remind yourself, this pain is not the end, it is the beginning of your growth. The muscles of the mind, the strength of the spirit, and the courage of the heart, they are all built through resistance. You sharpen your skills not in moments of ease, but in the fires of difficulty. Wisdom is not handed out in times of joy. It is earned through the soul's wrestling with hardship. You must begin to expect resistance, and more importantly, respect it. For it is resistance that builds resilience. It is through falling that we learn to rise, and it is through rising again and again that we become unbreakable. Remember, resilience is not about perfection. It is not about a flawless path or a record untouched by defeat. It is about the courage to stand up every single time you fall. It is about choosing hope over despair, effort over apathy, and faith over fear. The resilient man does not wait for life to be easy. He grows stronger because it is hard. So let the world test you. Let it throw what it may. For each time you rise from the ashes, you do not return the same. You return wiser, stronger, more prepared. That is the secret. Every setback is a setup for your next triumph. Rise again and again until rising becomes your nature, and nothing, not even life itself, can keep you down for long. 8. Master your mindset. Your mindset dictates your future. This is not merely a motivational phrase. It is a fundamental truth of life. Every thought you nurture, every belief you entertain, and every perspective you adopt becomes the lens through which you view the world, and ultimately the map you follow. If that lens is clouded with negativity, doubt, and limitation, then every opportunity will appear as a threat. Every setback will feel like the end. But if that lens is polished with optimism, resilience, and a belief in growth, then even the darkest paths begin to reveal light. Imagine your mind as a garden. In this garden, your thoughts are the seeds. The mindset you carry, positive or negative, is the soil in which those seeds grow. You cannot expect roses from a soil filled with bitterness and fear, but plant seeds of courage, gratitude, determination, and hope in rich, fertile soil, and the flowers of your future will blossom with beauty and strength. You hold complete power over what seeds you plant. That power lies in your ability to choose your thoughts. You are not at the mercy of your circumstances. You are the gardener. You decide what grows in the field of your life. It begins with awareness. Catch yourself when negative self-talk creeps in. Phrases like, "I can't do this," or "this always happens to me," or "I'm not good enough," are not facts. They are patterns, habits of the mind, and like all habits, they can be broken. Every time you hear yourself planting a weed, uproot it. Replace it with a seed of possibility. Start saying, "I can and I will." Say, "This challenge is my teacher." Say, "Even if I fall, I will rise stronger." With repetition, these thoughts become beliefs, and those beliefs become the architecture of your action. Consider the lives of those who have achieved greatness. What sets them apart is not luck or an absence of hardship. It is the way they think. They have trained their minds to interpret struggle as growth, failure as feedback, and uncertainty as adventure. They have mastered their inner world so they can rise in the outer one. You must begin to do the same. Feed your mind with inspiration. Read the stories of those who endured and emerged. Surround yourself with voices and environments that reflect who you want to become, not who you used to be. Seek to yourself with the same encouragement you would offer someone you love, because you are someone worthy of love and worthy of belief. Let your mind become your strongest ally, not your greatest saboteur. When the storms of life arrive, and they will, your mindset will decide whether you are washed away or whether you rise drenched undefeated. Success, after all, is not only about external achievement, it is first and foremost about internal mastery. This is the silent secret of all those who succeed over the long term. They do not just build businesses, families, or empires. They build inner fortresses. They cultivate stillness in chaos, clarity in confusion, and belief in the face of fear. Their lives are not perfect, but their perspective allows them to grow through what they go through. So take control of your mind today. Stop waiting for the world to change and begin by changing your thoughts. Instead of reacting, start creating. Instead of wishing, start doing. Instead of doubting, start believing. This shift does not happen overnight, but every day, every choice, every moment of awareness strengthens your ability to direct your life rather than drift through it. And soon, you will find that your outer world is beginning to reflect the quiet power you have nurtured within. By mastering your mindset, you do not eliminate hardship, but you transform it. You turn obstacles into stepping stones. You turn setbacks into setups for greater success. You stop asking, "Why me?" and start declaring, "Watch me," because a powerful mind can overcome any limitation, and a focused spirit can achieve what once seemed impossible. The garden of your future is waiting. What will you choose to plant today? Ideas without action are worthless. You may have the most brilliant vision, the most detailed plan, or the most inspiring dream, but if you never move, if you never act, then all of it fades into nothingness. The world does not reward the ones who merely think, imagine, or intend. It rewards the ones who do. The ones who rise each morning not just with purpose in their hearts, but action in their hands. The greatest tragedy in life is not failure. It is the regret of never having tried. It is the silence of an unwritten book, the absence of a song never sung, the emptiness of a business never built. Dreams are not destroyed by critics nor stolen by time. They are quietly buried under years of procrastination and fear. You must understand, success belongs to the doers, the ones who act despite fear, despite uncertainty, despite the odds. The first step is never perfect. It may be clumsy, it may be small, but it is the only thing that separates potential from progress. Your vision is only as strong as your willingness to take the first step now. You do not need to see the entire staircase to begin climbing. You do not need everything to be in place before you move. Begin with what you have. Do what you can. Start where you are, because the moment you begin, momentum begins. And momentum is a force more powerful than inspiration. Action fuels action. Movement begets movement. One small step leads to another, and soon the path begins to reveal itself. Action builds confidence. With every task you complete, no matter how small, you teach your mind that you are capable. You train your spirit to push past resistance. You show your fear that it does not control you. Each step you take becomes a stone laid in the foundation of your success. And the more you act, the more competent you become, not because everything becomes easy, but because you become stronger. It is not the occasional burst of energy that changes your life. It is the consistent, deliberate effort you bring every single day. Greatness is not found in grand gestures. It is hidden in the quiet, relentless pursuit of a goal, one action at a time. What you do repeatedly defines who you become. So act decisively. Stop waiting for the perfect time. It does not exist. Conditions will never be flawless. The clock will never pause long enough for you to feel entirely ready. But readiness is not a requirement for movement. Commitment is. Boldness is. Belief is. These are the forces that drive action. Our success story begins not when others believe in you, but when you believe in yourself enough to act, and it grows stronger with every step you take. If you stumble, rise. If you fail, learn. If you doubt, move anyway. Because nothing changes until you change it. No dream lives until you breathe life into it. Remember this truth. Your future depends entirely on what you choose to do today, not tomorrow, not someday, today. The decisions you make, the tasks you complete, the steps you take in this moment shape the world you will live in tomorrow. So take that first step, make that call, write that page, start that project. Begin the journey, and once you start, never stop. Keep going, keep building, keep acting. Because in the end, it is not the ideas you had, but the actions you took that define your legacy. That define your legacy. That define your legacy. That define your legacy.